Orioles can't ask for a better first two games. Corbin Burnes, Grayson Rodriguez, dynamite. First Oriole duo, I believe, to, if I saw that correctly in franchise history, to go 6 innings and K over, was it 7, 8 batters?
Yeah, I think it was over 8 batters and like allowing only 1 run. So just unbelievable start. Exactly what you want to see from both of them. And I don't want people to discredit what Tyler Wells did today, because we're going to get into it in a second, but talk about battling back and facing adversity. Stuff doesn't go the way you wanted it to when the game first starts. First 2 innings, a little struggle. Does he back down? No. What does he do? Retires 14 straight batters and keeps the Orioles in the game.
Yeah, and I think the bigger part for this with me, with Wells, because we'll jump into it. You're going, wait a minute, what kind of happened today? Well, Wells, if you look at his final stats, 6 innings, 3 earned runs, and the Orioles lost a 4-1 game. The Orioles had an opportunity, bases loaded, had a chance, and I think if my memory is correct here, you had the guy you wanted up.
Yeah.
Sadly, Rutschman. Gunnar draws a walk. So what? It happens, and then it just felt like, give Reed Detmers credit. He gave them a really good start when they needed it, and that's just a part. That's all about it. So Z-Farm, Cole Ragans versus Corbin Burnes is going to be an absolute duel on Wednesday. Can't wait. We can't wait either, and we're going to dive into that as we move to the next series here later in the show, and that should be fun. A nice Kansas City Royals team that has a lot of young talent that they are hoping to kind of take that step. They've been stuck for a while. Yeah. But let's finish the conversation with the series, though. And I want people to understand the other importance of Tyler Wells here, by the way. Tyler, friend of the show, and if you want to see more of Tyler, he's going to make his way back on here, whether he likes it or not. Just kidding. He enjoys coming back on. But for Tyler, what I loved, and keep this in mind, when shit doesn't go right, you have 2 options. You either you give in and you get knocked out, and then it's all hands on deck, or you strap up your boots, you keep grinding your ass off, and you give your team a chance, but you save your bullpen.
Yeah.
This is this early in the season. And for the Angels, you look at how much that decimated them earlier. They needed a win today, but also their arms are tired. For the Orioles case, to have all 3 starters go into the 6th, I can't tell you and emphasize enough how well that helps you guys go into the next series, especially when you're trying to have there's 159 games left. Little things like that matter. And I thought for Tyler Wells, he did the best he could, given the fact of not being off to a great start, Zach.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that you just mentioned was saving the bullpen. Man, first 2 innings look a little rough, doesn't have it completely. And you're like, oh man, could this be a day that the bullpen really gets taxed, that it's a lot of things going on and they have to use a few more arms? Not the case. Tyler Wells battles back and gives them 6 strong innings. And that completely changes how just even the next 2 days go against the Royals, when we get into that, because now your bullpen is fresher, because Tyler Wells went out there and put up 4 more innings than, he could have given up all of a sudden 3rd inning, say, I don't have it today, gets hit around a little bit. And then he's like, okay, I'm out. Didn't do that. Went out there, competed every single pitch and got out of everything. So, 4 runs over 6 innings. If he does that a lot, only 3 earned, I will say that. 3 earned runs over 6 innings. If he does that consistently, the Orioles are going to win a lot of ball games started by Tyler Wells.
Yeah, and another thing to point out here, and this is for the 3 starters for the Orioles. They all go over 6 innings. They all strike out over 7 batters, and 1 combined walk between Corbin Burnes, Grayson Rodriguez, and Tyler Wells. So they're not beating themselves. The Angels, hey, they earned it. They got their hits. Ward was swinging the bat pretty well, hit a jack. And you know what? They did enough to win the game, but it wasn't any self-implosion or self-inflicted wounds, if that makes sense. Tyler Wells, they earned their hits, no free passes. And that's a big part if you want to win a lot more games. Don't give the teams more opportunities to score, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I saw you had that up from Sean here about Grayson. We're going to pull that back up here. But Sean said Grayson kind of hinted at it, but how much of a fire did the season ending in his home state light inside him this season? I think for Grayson, I think he was just more determined he wants to be one of the best. And then it's also for him, I think he was pissed off that he felt he let the team down in the postseason. He didn't let the team down. And I'm just telling people out loud, he's just disappointed with how he pitched. He helped the team get there.
Mhm.
And for that alone, Grayson's like, you know what? I expect more from myself. I have an idea of how to be a big league pitcher. And out the gate, I'm going to remind you that I am going to be a force to be reckoned with. I hope you guys draft him if you do fantasy baseball, because the dude is going to be an absolute stud.